Hello there, Wastelanders. Welcome to another episode of Fallout New Vegas Faction Warriors Tale of Two Wastelands Edition. This time around, we're playing as the head vamp himself, the leader of the Meresti cult, Vance. Now, a couple things about this run right out of the gate. First off, checking out our inventory here. Do you see that? This is our first unit in the entire series that is using only melee. Well, at least we can sell everything out of the courier stash and make a few extra bucks quicker. And just like with Dave, Vance has a unique weapon called the Vampire's Edge, which he keeps stored away, courtesy of his special key for his cabinet where he keeps the things stored. So we have a unique Chinese officer's sword, and the shish kebab, and what's essentially a customized regulator trench coat. Now, if you are new here, first off, welcome. Love to see your beautiful face. It's great to have you. Let's have a great time together, baby. And those of you who are newcomers, just know that for this scene right here, we are allowed to use the varmint rifle to shoot these bottles, regardless of who we're playing as. We need that in order to get Joe Cobb to trigger inside of the Prospector Saloon. But before we can get to Joe Cobb, first things first, time to make our way to the Good Spring School, and this was probably a bit overkill, but I was so excited to use the shish kebab that I went ahead and fried these mantises. Now, we do have to kill these guys, because if they are aggroed, by the time we get to Joe Cobb will run away, and that's going to waste quite a bit of time. And it's that stealth boy we just looted. That's the entire reason why we went to Good Spring School in the first place. And a stealth boy is also the reason why we want Joe Cobb. As we make our way to him here, we're gonna go ahead and sneak attack, crit him, one-shot him with our awesome shish kebab. I had to do a run as Joe Cobb sometime. I always thought he was cool. I really like his voice, too. Making our way over to Hidden Valley, we're gonna switch over to the Vampire's Edge. That way we don't wear down the shish kebab too much. If you're new here, just know that we clear this valley out in order to get experience points to hit level 2, which will take Confirmed Bachelor for the boost and damage to male units. And the Bark Scorpion Poison Glands do sell for about 18 bottle caps a pop. That goes directly towards our 2,000 credit check. Anytime we melee in here, we have to be extra careful because we don't want to get poisoned by the Bark Scorpions. Fortunately for us, this was a nice clean sweep, so now with Hidden Valley on our map, we're going to fast travel back to Good Springs. This time we're going to take a bit of a detour. We're going to sell a little bit extra to Trudy. And the reason why we bought the Atomic Cocktail is so that we have some energy resistance by the time we fight Cook, which is coming up real soon. Coming up is our usual Cazador Stealth Boy Valley run here. This is why we need one of our two Stealth Boys here. Without the Stealth Boy, yeah, good luck getting through this. And if you're curious why we're going this way, this is so that we can get to the Great Khan super early so we can check them off of Yes Man's little list once we get to him. And as we're chugging along here, we do have to be mindful of our surroundings and make sure that we're crouched and sneaking as we're passing by Bonnie Springs. You guys remember what happened during the Enclave Hellfire Trooper run? Obligatory mention of Papa Khan. We get the Great Khan criteria complete. Let's go! Alright, as we make our way over to Cook's part of Outer Vegas, we'll go ahead and butt boot Poseidon gas station. Believe it or not, that 9 experience points does add up. We're never going to fast travel there, but it's just nice to get the XP, and it's on the way. Now, we don't have a firearm to kill Queenie from a distance, so we're going to have to be super careful here. I figured to go in with the Vampire's Edge. And it's pretty hilarious, actually, because although Cook and the Fiends see us cut down this Brahmin right in front of them, Cook still frenzies and attacks his, I don't know if you'd call them friends, his minions? You gotta love how the Fiends that are accompanying Cook are also surprised that just happened. Well, maybe they shouldn't hang out with a guy who cooks people for a living and has a cow as a, special friend. Speaking of Cook went down super easy. I am actually quite surprised that went that well. Not gonna complain though, that is awesome. And we're gonna go ahead and make our way to El Dorado Substation. We need that for fast travel later. And next up is our trusty Field Shack. Now, of course, as Vance, we don't need anything in there, but getting stuff like the Abel and Kid BB gun and some of the spare ammo, that can go towards our credit check. Takes me a moment to decide what to get for level 3, because I was like, oh wait, I'm a melee unit, I don't know what to take. I usually take rapid reload, so Thief, I'm like, well, we can sneak faster, so we'll go with that. However, there is no sneaking to our next target, our Faction Warrior star, Georgie boy. Oh, thank you for the shout out there, Georgie boy. So kind of you. I'm going to reward your service with a shish kebab kill. Now, if this is your first video, just know that we killed Georgie boy because 427 bottle caps is just a fifth over what we need for our 2,000 cap credit check at the strip. Now, the Boomers of Nellis have been kinda tough lately. President Dave had a pretty clean run through there. But will Vance? Well, let's find out. Yeah, mostly clean. I think we got critically hit there at the end, but doesn't matter. We didn't slow down at all. And after making contact with Mother Pearl, she's a lot more alert than she was been in our past runs. I like to imagine that she sees all this stuff as she's like, oh no, is my house haunted? I can't attack ghosts with explosives. Well, Granny, it is undead. It's just the wrong kind of undead. Time to do some business with our boy Dixon here. And contrary to what I said in the last video about Day Tripper, it is still gone. I didn't know that at the time of this run. It's this run right here where I found out I can't get Day Tripper, but like I said in the last video, I'm actually okay with that because it adds more challenge, and because you need 50 chems or alcohol to get Day Tripper, it does waste a little bit of time. Upon disposing of the inept thug, we'll go ahead and make our way to Old Ben because we'd like to loot his 44 Magnum, and as he's being a good boy and trying to protect us, well, we don't appreciate good Samaritans here on this show. Now, we're going to try a bit of a different routing this time. First things first, we're actually going to go to the White Gloves first at the Ultralux. My thought process is Ultralux, talk to Mortimer, and then go to Benny, take him out, and then go to the Emeritus, talk to the receptionist, and pass our 28 speech check for the XP, and then go kill Mr. House. We've already been at Mr. House's anyway because we need to get the dialogue option to convince Swank to let us go after Benny. Alright, the White Gloves are checked off. Time to make our way to the tops and deal with Benny. Should be super easy considering what we have. I mean, Benny's never hard to kill, but he should be exceptionally easy with the shish kebab. Now, check this out. I was pretty proud of this moment, actually. We were able to get him to Vance mode with a melee weapon without triggering his conversation. I've never actually done that before. I was proud of that. Being able to skip those text boxes also saves us a bit of time. Now, before we make our way back to Mr. House, one more person we gotta take out. Another star of the show, Vulpes and Kulta. And I gotta say, there's a real sweet irony behind what's about to happen. Killing Vulpes with an incendiary weapon. Well, buddy, better luck at the game of lottery next time. Okay, last up on the Yes Man checklist before we get him installed is to pay a visit to our buddies over at the Ometas. Checked off that part of our list, and it's time to pay Mr. House a visit. The little gauntlet of Securitrons has been pretty easy up to this point, and I have a distinct feeling that this time around will be no exception. Still, we are a lightly armored unit. Fun fact, Vance's long coat in Vanilla Fallout 3 is considered heavy, but in TTW Wastelands it's been reworked to be a light unit. Definitely prefer that. Also, like, why is Vance's long coat considered heavy in the first place? That doesn't even make sense. Well, not unless that dude loaded with mad cheddar, which, well, considering his status in Meresti, he might be. And hey, if there's nothing else about this episode, you can say that you saw Mr. House get killed by a shish kebab. How many times have you seen that? Well, for me, first time ever. And the good luck just keeps pouring in. Once again, Ranger Dobson got to do this for the Brotherhood of Steel to get that checklist set off. He's also in the bunker. That's the second time. Let's hope this stays the course. I much prefer this. Now, the last time we went to Eldorado Substation, they opened fire on President Dave. Will that happen here, or was that just a one-off? Well, it's time to find out. Alright, just gonna fast travel. Let's just click on that. Here we are. Kinda weird that nobody is outside, right? And I'll be. NCR doing their jobs? Not in my Fallout New Vegas. Well, I guess I can't say they did their jobs because they still failed to kill one guy with a sword and a trench coat, so nah, it's actually part of the course. And that was such a close call, I figured to just speed up our journey over to Yes Man, just to show it was done in one take. That's the same reason why I just speed up discovering Hidden Valley and speed up all the way to the Cazador Stealth Room, just to show it was done in one take. Alright, in Hoover Dam here, I have the distinct impression that the Great Khans aren't going to be tough, and turns out that we are correct. The Khans have indeed been cut into chunky salsa. I honestly thought they'd last longer than that. We weren't even using the shish kebab. However, we can't breathe too easily here because although we are strong in melee, we are still squishy. As far as the Kenturians are concerned, they can take their time shooting at us because we have to approach them every time. There's a consistent element of danger, but thankfully once we get close to them, we can cut them down easily with shish kebab. Oh, it's a little ways off, but we can envenom our shish kebab so we can deal burning damage and poison to the heavy troopers when they come up. That's gonna be fun. And yeah, as I was saying, you see our health there. We may hit hard ourselves, but we also get hit hard. And I'll tell you what's real satisfying here, that Prime Legionary one shot with the shish kebab. Love it. Alright, you heavy derp duo, I'm making this as easy for you as I possibly can. I have no firearms, I'm wearing a trench coat, so I'm made of tissue paper. You guys gotta be able to take out Vance, right? Alright, they're both poison and ooh, look at that. They're actually doing a bit of damage to us. Aww. Oh, what's that? Oh, you're too slow. You gotta be quicker than that, heavy derp. Oh, that's a hell of a reference. Now, you wanna know what's real funny? Somehow we did not aggro the rest of the NCR in the area. Well, that's okay. We're gonna change their minds here in just a sec when we push the little red button coming up right about now. With the push of a button, the NCR's efforts in the Mojave Wasteland are entirely wasted. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, we'll just go ahead and cut through these troopers who didn't aggro us before for some strange reason. Good for them. Don't worry, the Prime Legionary's not leaving them out. We here at Faction Warriors do not discriminate. We murder everybody with equal enthusiasm. Now we'll go ahead and drop us a save here, and wow, we haven't actually saved without autosave since the Boomers of Nillis. Well, good thing nothing happened. Okay, get through that loading screen, and you know what comes next. Pop that stealth boy, and let's make our way to the Legates camp. You know, I gotta say, even with me freezing up when we hit level 3 because I wasn't sure what to pick, we are making exceptional time so far. I am wondering, though, if any of our future units will be able to fight the Kentarians under the effects of the stealth boy. I might actually try that next time and spice things up a bit. It just depends on who we're using and what we have access to. Like Vance can definitely kill one with a sneak attack crit. Unfortunately, he would just get mowed down by their anti-material rifles, and we can't quite fire back, you know what I mean? Alright, we've made it past the Praetorians. Gonna go ahead and drop us a nice save. Once that's all said and done, hit that Meeting People magazine for our Speech 100. We go up to Lanius and go, hey, look, our murder weapon comes with a super cute oven mitt. Isn't that cute? And Lanius is like, I gotta get one, and he just bolts. Well, that's one way to resolve the conflict. We were at 52 minutes before Legate Lanius. What about the final result? Well, my dear friends, feast your eyes on the screen now. Vance subbed 1 hour in Faction Warriors. That's incredible. I did not think for a second that this would happen. I thought that the lack of a firearm would be too much of a drawback, but I guess I underestimated the power of the shish kebab. And as you see on the screen, we're circling back to the Outcasts and letting their leader, Henry Caston, go next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next episode. Later.